Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. Welcome here. Shame is a very powerful emotion and it gets its destructive side from being something that we don't talk about. So I'm going to do just that in this video, talk about it, so that we can reflect on how to deal with shame in a constructive way. Shame is a universal emotion, and considering this, it's mind-blowing to think of how little we talk about it, even though we all experience it. In fact, we even build up walls around ourselves and defense mechanisms so that we can avoid it. Shame is what causes us to hide ourselves, to not show what we've created out of fear that someone may disapprove. It causes us to hide ourselves from others, not open up and not connect with them. It causes us to hold back our ideas and creativity, or to not risk starting something new. And this avoiding of looking at shame and reflecting on it and dealing with it constructively is what actually gives it its power and control over our lives. One of the most prominent shame researchers, Brené Brown, defines shame as feeling unworthy of connection or unlovable. We learn what to be ashamed of from culture and our families and then make this into our own voices. Sometimes shame is even used to try to reform people, which doesn't work because shame just pushes people even further into the darker corners of their mind. Research shows correlations between feeling shame and addiction, aggression, violence, bullying, and depression. And there are no correlations with positive experiences whatsoever. We feel ashamed when we've said or done something that we wish we wouldn't have, and then feel bad about ourselves. And the list of what we can feel ashamed of is endless. It can be the way we look, the product of our work. It can be our age, our health. It can be our belonging to a certain culture or group. And research that looked at the brain activity when we feel ashamed shows that the same areas are active as when we feel actual physical pain. So shame is a very painful emotion because we feel so disconnected and alone, lonely. And unfortunately, when dealing with shame, we often do things that contribute to this feeling of being disconnected and lonely even more. We pretend that it's not there. We numb ourselves by consumption, or we may put on a mask instead of being who we really are and try a project of reconstructing of who we'd like to be. Or we hide from others or lash out at them. All things that will lead to further disconnection and not a constructive resolution of our shame. So how can we heal after an experience that we've reacted to with shame? The first step is to become aware of the emotion, to look it right into the face and recognize, I'm feeling ashamed. And then the second step is to look at the inner dialogue that caused the shame. This can be sentences like, I'm a failure, I'm embarrassing, I'm a loser. To ask yourself, which standards do you feel you're not fulfilling in that moment? And then reflect on those standards. Are these standards that you really subscribe to? Is this really something that you even want to fulfill? And then to build a constructive inner dialogue. This can be things like, actually, I was pretty brave to put myself out there. Or, I can't expect to never make a mistake. I can learn from this mistake. I can apologize. Or, my self-worth does not depend on my success or failure in this project. And then the second step is to reach out to someone, to look for connection and empathy. Because when we feel ashamed, we fear that we've lost our worth that makes us lovable and worthy of connection. So the healing resort or best medicine for an experience that we've reacted with shame to is to seek out exactly that which we fear we've lost, connection. To find someone we trust, open up to them, and tell them what happened. Remember that the power of shame comes from not talking about it. And this is what makes shame so tricky, that healing it requires exactly what we're afraid of having lost due to the experience. So to recover from shame, it's important to understand this dynamic, that to heal it, I need to do exactly what I'm afraid of having lost. To know who is that person in my life that I can open up to, that offers me this healing place after an experience of shame. And then to overcome this first impulse of hiding, of lashing out, or ignoring the shame, and then open up to the person and experience that we are still worthy of connection, we haven't lost it, and that this is true in general and even after this experience. And in this way, we can even turn shame into something that is constructive, something that can strengthen our sense of unconditional worth and connection to another person. And of course, we can also extend our empathy to others, offer them a place to heal and recover from their shameful experience by giving them a space to talk about what happened, by not judging them and letting them know that they're not alone. Let me know if you like this video by leaving a thumbs up. If you're new here and you'd like to stay in touch, remember to hit the subscribe button. And thanks for watching to everyone. I look forward to being in contact again soon. Bye-bye.